Skylar, hello. The one and only Skylar123. Mark, how you doing? Nice amp, it sure is. That's a Bruno. Tony Bruno. You possessed fool. Here I am. Saturday night stream, that's right. This is what we're doing now. We're hanging out. Everybody's just chilling. Brian, Patrick, that is the language of the channel. That is how we talk around here. It's like asking an artist who's been drawing their entire life. I bet you can't draw a tree. The watch today, we're rocking a little Omega Seamaster. Jim says, hi from New Hampshire. Hey, we were there. What was the name of that place? Not important enough to remember. Some theater. I want to say it began with an N. The V is playable. You got to put it between your legs. The V, you gotta put the V, one part of the V in between your legs and play it upright. If you try to play it on your lap, it'll just slide away from you. That's why some of the Vs have that rubber patch along the bottom. But if you are a V guy, they're super light. They don't weigh anything. Southwest Louisiana. How you doing, Glenn? Story time. I used to live in Thibodaux, Louisiana. I lived there for 3-4 months or something. I forget how long. And we used to go to New Orleans for the food, man. Yeah, the Jackson. I'm not a Jackson guy, but the only way to play a V is standing up or got to put her between your legs. Orlando, how you doing, John? We're going to be there coming up in November. Telecaster, yeah, tellies are. I have one upstairs that's I built. What was the name of that place? USA Custom Guitar out in Seattle. They no longer exist, but they made bodies. It's a one-piece ash body. It's featherweight. It weighs like 4 pounds, the body. And I put Don Mayer pickups in it. It's just ridiculous. Jay, you'll be in Vegas. Yeah, of course. Bring whatever deck you want and give it to me. That's all you have to do. Give it to my manager. And we might even, if you're in the VIP thing, we'll bring you up on stage and do whatever you want. VIP and a signed deck, Jonathan. Yeah, 100%. Martin, man, I've played some Martins that they're like incredible. They really are something special. And the old Gibsons, Jumbos, those things are just incredible. Do I play video games? I used to, and I don't anymore. I used to play, like back in the day, the golden era, when games were actually like difficult to play. You know, Metal Gear Solid, Silent Hill, the early COD, Modern Warfare, the originals, 2008 COD lobbies. That's where I learned all my trolling skills. Are my books all about cards? No, they're cookbooks. There's no card tricks in them at all. I teach Mediterranean cooking, grilling, pastries. I didn't play Resident Evil 2, but what was it? It's got to be what? Resident Evil 7 came out, like what? 2018 or so? That was a while ago. When they did that, they went less on action and more on like storytelling. It was pretty creepy. Oh, Dying Light. That was a game I played. Battlefield. But I don't play like I used to play anymore. Where to start with card magic? Right there, man. Royal Road to Card Magic. That'll get you started. Royal Road to Card Magic. And these guys. This book is so good that if I want to read it twice, I've got another copy. Carl Fulves. Any of these books. Screenshot time. Jot them down. These are like good tricks that don't require much sleight. So if you want to get started, Carl Fulves is the way to go. Orlando show, I want to say Funny Bone. Actually, I've got it right here. I'm not the best at my own tour dates. Orlando is Funny Bone, November 18th at the Funny Bone. Dying Light 1 and 2, yeah, they were just, they were great storytelling, and you go on these cool missions, and next thing you know, it's out of hand. Like, it's out of hand, and nothing's more rewarding than just like slaying zombies. I didn't play the game 007, the new one. I haven't played it. I don't think I'm gonna either. Today's games are so they're like easy mode. Johnny Heartbreaker, hello. Favorite Albert King album? Oh, that's impossible. You know, his really early stuff when he's got like a clean tone. But then I'd have to say Blues Power. Blues Power, what is that, Live at the Fillmore East or whatever? That live album, when he plays Blues Power and it's like a 12-minute song, it never gets old. That, when he's whispering to the band, and he's going on his rap, he's talking. Some people got the blues, the panks. And then the band comes in, and he turns that thing up to 10, and your soul just explodes. That never gets old. Do I ever do street magic? I did a 2016 or something film crew, and I went down to New York, and we walked up to people and did magic. Some of it's on YouTube. You can watch that. If you go on YouTube under playlists, live performances, I think they're in there. But street magic is not really my favorite thing to do. Favorite dice? Well, I'm glad you asked. Look at these. Sanded green, logoed. These are on my site. These are the same exact dice that you find on the Strip in Vegas. Same company that makes all the dice for all the major casinos made mine. Huxley, it's called. So, razor sharp, sanded, they're perfect. But I didn't want to get like cheap China knockoff stuff. Forging Ahead. Yeah, we did Forging Ahead, Standing Out, a handful of things. We're just making like a promo and a few things. Actually, there's two versions of Forging Ahead. You might be thinking of I did one in Ohio with Penguin, I think. Nightmare. Yeah, the dice, thank you for picking them up. It's just like, if you go to the gift shop in a casino, you get the ones that are plugged, or drilled. So I wanted quality dice without the drill. Street Magic. Have you ever Harrison Kramer's? No, I don't even know who that is. My apologies to Harrison Kramer, but I don't know who that is. November 18. That's Orlando, isn't it? I knew that. I didn't just cheat and look. St. Paul, of course. Yeah, we'll be there. We'll be all over. We'll be everywhere. We just pick our tours based on our schedule, what comes in, and the venue's availability. There's no cities that we avoid or anything. We try to avoid, like Jersey. Guns N' Roses, Intro to Sweet Child of Mine. I absolutely can, but I can't stand that song. It's overplayed. Dr. Venus? Pay extra for the dice to be loaded. You can get any number you want with those dice. It might take you a couple rolls, but you can get whatever you want. But Doc, I appreciate the dono. No, they're not loaded. And also, it's a funny thing because a lot of people with the loaded dice thing, they're transparent dice. You can see through the dice. You don't have loaded dice that you can see through. Johnny, amazing channel, and it pisses you off. That's how I knew. I had a girlfriend once that I knew a trick was good if she got up from the table and walked away and called me an asshole. If that passed the test, if that happened, it's like that's a good trick. Clapton, oh my God, Clapton, one of my absolute favorite desert island albums of all time is From the Cradle. Clapton, that album, especially that album. Don't mind me. I'm just gonna put my feet up and chill. We're making money here. This is me at work. Clapton's album, From the Cradle, that is one of the best albums out there. John Mayer, the pop stuff. What's that one? Trio, that album with that was like a really good blues album. That is some stellar stuff. But the pop stuff, I'm not really a fan of. He's a great player, no denying that. He understands the internet very well. He's become a huge personality, big watch guy. So his persona and everything's fantastic. That one album is great, and he can play a blues for days, man. Am I making it to the West Coast? Yeah, we'll be in LA in February, and we'll add some more dates around that. Nathan says, "Love your card work. Keep it up." I will. I was going to quit, but you told me to keep it up, so I'll keep going. Peter Frampton, yeah, man. I don't have the voice box, but when I was 10 years old or something, I heard that album. Do You Feel That Tune? And that was like, I mean, it's so blues based, but it's not blues, but it's blues based. Books on learning piano. No, I don't recommend books for learning piano. Of course, you need like hand and exercises, and rudiments are good for books. But like a textbook about piano, no. I want a teacher. I want to see somebody do something in real time and say, show me that. And then they can break it down and you can learn it. I like having a mentor that you can, in real time, go back and forth and adjust what needs to be fixed. A book is a one-way street. A video is a one-way street. That's what's wrong with YouTube, learning on YouTube. It's a one-way street. You can't stop and ask for clarification, Best looking, best smelling, best dressed. I got to go back. Best taste in watch-wearing magician. It feels pretty good. It does feel good. Gorin hats, just go on the internet. Gorin, they're great hats. And also, if you're a hat guy, right out of the plastic, you rip they go on, they fit great. So, other hats, you got to like break them in. The black clover hats, you have to kind of like break them in a little bit. Favorite style of the blues? Man, B.B. King and Albert King. Those two do it. Delta's the old stuff. Dobro, old Mississippi, Delta blues. Chicago is great, but if you really want me, if you say, who do you want to listen to? Albert King and B.B. King. Those are the guys. Do I actually own loaded dice? That's a great question. And the answer is 100% no. I do not actually own loaded dice. There, I said it. You can't do anything with them. Because if you roll it, you can't roll it again or the jig's up. So every single video I do, I have to roll the dice 15 times. And people still say they're loaded. Stevie Ray Vaughan, of course, that was my first real exposure to guitar that was like, holy, what is this? What is happening? Like, it was so intense. It was so intense. So Stevie came first for me. And then I found all the old guys after that, because Stevie was on the radio. Riding with the King. Yeah, it's a little cheesy here and there, but what's that? There's one track on there that's got the drum track. It's like they play to a drum track. It's a very good song. First magic trick I ever learned. You might even know it. It's the 4 jacks. The 4 jacks are robbers. The 4 jacks are robbers, and one goes into the first floor, another jack goes into the second floor, jack goes into the third floor, and then one jack stays on the roof. He's a lookout. The cops come. You knock the top of the deck, and the 4 jacks come off the top. That was the first trick I ever saw. Led Zeppelin. That was another. I Can't Quit You, Babe. That was another one of my very first. My brother's album collection that was on in the house all the time. So that was why I kind of fell in love with blues. That first album, Led Zeppelin 1 there, that's best rock band in 2026. That doesn't even exist. I think AC/DC and ZZ Top and all that. That's when rock, that was rock. Today, I can't even name a rock band anymore. If I could jam with any guitarist, Derek Trucks. I'd want to be on piano for that, though. I don't want to sit across from Derek Trucks on a guitar. I would like to lay down some gospel church changes under Derek Trucks and listen to that. By far, Derek Trucks is probably the one of the best guitar players alive today. Nightmare Productions. Yeah, man, it's really a shame. I think I mentioned that you must know because you're referencing that. But the guy is his work is so good. He's doing Netflix specials and major National Geographic specials and movie. He's won like 10 Emmys, and everything just takes so long to get a basic project done. Alessandro amps. I'm a Bruno guy, and I'm a old vintage Fender, a Princeton and Super. I haven't played one, so I don't know. But Matchless is another really good one. But I can't give my opinion on Alessandro because I haven't played them. What kind of drills that you should get into to get into sleight of hand? Well, riffle stacking is a really big thing you should work on, but that's very complicated. But that's what sets the boys from the men. And estimation. You've seen me do those things where I just cut off a number of cards. Doing that kind of stuff. Those are great drills. 80s Jersey Shore bands? No, I'm not really an 80s guy. It's great music, but it's not really my thing. Sheepdog, Passing Through. Love the banter, roasting people. Right on, brother. Well, thanks for stopping in. Big difference between European and U.S. audiences. I think that European audiences are much more, I don't want to say polite, but they're more invested in the talent. I don't know how else to explain it. They really care about the crafts and the work you put in, and there's a respect there. And in U.S., they come to have a good time. They come to see the show and laugh and drink and enjoy the show. But there's like a deeper appreciation for the work you put in. And I noticed that in music, too. When I would go to Europe and tour with Shamika Copeland, I was her keyboard player for like 5 years. I would get there, and the people would know my name. I'm the keyboard player. The fans would come up and greet Shamika and thank her and this, and then they would say, Jason, and I'd be like, this guy knows my name. And that happened multiple times, the jazz festivals and everything. So there's some sort of deeper appreciation. And then when you solo, as a blues piano player, you take a solo, the audience is applauding for all the solos. Then the guitar solos and the piano solos, it's something I noticed. Good tube amp with nice warmth. Yeah, I'm not really a Marshall guy as well. Nothing against Marshall stuff. When I played with Vince Converse, if anybody knows who Vince Converse is, I'll be shocked. I played with Vince Converse for like maybe a year or two, and he did a split. He did like a Showman and a Marshall. And that was a sound, oh man, that was huge. Please release book number 3. Excuse me. We're working on it. Andy Gladwin, one of the owners of Vanishing Ink, had made a really good documentary recently about all the people that steal magic, and that took all the steam out of publishing a book. If someone else is just going to steal it, what's the point? Classical guitar, no, I never touched it once. Stop in Myrtle Beach. All you have to do is on Instagram, more so than, or in YouTube, I suppose. Just leave it. Instagram's better. If you're on Instagram, just go and spam that a couple times in Instagram, and I'll put my manager on it. Favorite bourbon? I'm not really a bourbon guy. It's too sweet for me. Buffalo Trace, Woodford Reserve, all the normal bourbons, but single malt scotch has ruined me. Albuquerque was fantastic. We went up to the big mountain. So you drive, I don't know, 20 minutes out of town, and there's this giant mountain with the Swiss gondola thing that goes way up. And it's really high, like you're lightheaded and everything. And you can see everything. Albuquerque guy, if you know what that is, chime in the comments. But that was really, really something else. And the crowd was great. And we were there for 2 days, I think. And we went, everybody said to go to Frontier. The world's longest tram. Yeah, that was something else. And it was windy it was hella windy up there. Japanese whiskeys, yes. I don't know them as well. I know that when I have them, I enjoy them, but I don't know the names and I don't really know the lore, where they're from. Obviously from Japan, but I don't know like the distilleries, and I don't know much about it. But I have had some exquisite, Habiki's another good one too. Frank's very screen shy. He just sits behind the glass and makes things work. Watch collection. I thought about it. Maybe I'll start making some watch content. Hibiki Harmony, yeah, it's fantastic. And what's a 17 one that's like, I think somebody gave me a 17 once. That was not the normal. It cost like 5 times as much. People hate me. Yeah, of course. Of course they do. The internet is fueled by jealousy, insecurity, and ignorance. That's what grew this whole channel. Lafroig is fantastic. It tastes like you're drinking a campfire. It's really, really good. I think I have a 25 upstairs. I don't know what the YouTube rules are with showing whiskey. I know they're weird about cigars and whiskey and things. I think I've got a 25 Lafroig upstairs that's still sealed up. What kind of watch am I wearing? We're wearing a blue Omega Seamaster today. Huntsville. We'll be back. Don't worry. Huntsville, and your comment went away too quick. You want me to do something to your mom? Don't mind me. Big fan from New York City. Yeah, we shot a special there recently. We shot a special last February 24th, I want to say. Tattoos, I have 4 tattoos, but they're big and they're kind of connected. They're just they're not really like a specific thing. It's kind of a artistic way to symbolize something that's happened in my life, like being free of having a boss. You don't want someone. I don't do well with having somebody tell me what to do for minimum wage. I had one job in my life, but as I went through life, I realized, you know what? I'm going to get rid of all that and just be free to do whatever I want to do. So I have a tattoo that represents that. All the work with all these influences back here. This has everybody. This is Erdnase, Levand, Scarney. All these names are kind of built into this. There's a tattoo from my first book. It's writing my first book was a monumental journey. Big fan from Sweden. Europe, we have a couple Europe shows coming up. We have Paris is coming up, October 30th. But we're going to add Belgium, likely, and Netherlands. Corporate job. I never had a corporate job. I worked at a golf course, and I worked at a bank for like 3 weeks, and then I quit. What's on the wrist today? Omega Seamaster. Is there anything nicer than a black V with a white guard? The Carino with the white guard. Look at that thing. Gorgeous. The Carina, though, the Carina is, I think that's got the look. This is, you know why I have that? Because it looks good next to the piano. It's literally a photo shoot guitar. How long have I been doing cards? I started this morning, actually. I woke up this morning and said, you know what? What should I do today? Let's give card tricks a shot. I started when I was 7. Last time I got fooled, I would say, I don't know when exactly, but guys like Mike Vincent, Tony Cabral, Andrew Wimhurst, these are guys that have the chops, and they'll get something past you for sure. And there's a guy I can't name because he actually works in casinos. He's does some stuff that I'm looking right at it. I know that's the frustrating part. I know what's going on, but I can't see it. Have I ever considered entering FISM? I have no interest in being part of FISM at all. The magic that I create, the card stuff that I create is for lay people. And in order to, what does it mean too? You have a FISM trophy. It doesn't, like when it comes time to pay your rent, do you say, oh, look at my FISM trophy? It doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything at all. So it's not my, I don't want to have to create an act for a trophy that I don't really care about. St. Louis, we've been there. Oh, wait, I think we're coming back. 100%. We just signed an 8-city deal, and St. Louis is on there. St. Louis City Winery. Card Magic course for mortals. Well, I've written 2 books. There's that. On my YouTube right here on the members, there is there's some easy card tricks to learn. And also, if you go to my website, there's downloads you can buy. Big 4-hour downloads of all the stuff that I do. Have I read all those books behind me? No. Anytime there's a table that's a little uneven or wonky or something like that, and I have to adjust the table to make sure that it doesn't rock back and forth, I grab one of these bad boys here. Of course. Muscle memory. Well, yeah, of course it is. It's like a golf swing, but you'll lose your muscle memory if you don't continue to practice. That's why you constantly have to practice. Otherwise, you'll lose it. Next show at Mohegan Sun. It's on the tour schedule. I know the date. I'm just checking the weather. November 14th. November 14th, Mohegan Sun. Free tutorial. There's self-working there's self-working card tricks all over my channel. Those are 100% free. Do I shave? No, there's no when you do the pull, it's so obvious. That's amateur hour magic trick deck garbage. Daniel Craig signed 007. Good eye, yeah. Look at that. Big influence on the character. Have I met Steve Forty? Yes, I have. 2019 or so, went to breakfast with Jason England and hung out with Steve for about 3 hours. Wisdom is majesty. Thank you for the dono. I appreciate it. Pops watch you all the time. Absolutely amazing. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate the dono very much. Tricks you can recommend for a beginner. I don't know when you showed up. Well, first of all, in my members only section right now, which is what, $3 a month or something like that, you can join for Mark. Welcome to the Hive. In my members thing, there's like 5 or 6 tricks there that are really easy to learn. But this guy, if you want beginner tricks that are very fooling, very good, Carl Fulves. He's got 5, 6 books out. I would recommend this. Am I an artist? No, but I always look up to people like Bob Ross. When I was a kid watching Bob Ross, that to me is magic. There's nothing on a canvas, and then he just makes it appear, and it looks beautiful. That is really amazing. Favorite Daniel Craig is Casino Royale. I think he really, that one was something else. And also Skyfall is very good too. Skyfall I thought was a great Bond because they gave him the vulnerability by putting him out there with none of his gadgets, and he had to MacGyver his way out of it. If I add up the corresponding number to the letters of my last name, I get a prime number, of course. Of course you do. The number 2 card magician in the world today, what's his name? Jason Ladany. That guy's pretty good. Jason Ladany is number 1, but number 2, I would say I'd give it to Jason. He's pretty good. Tell me, what is character? Your character is the persona that you play, that the audience can derive traits from and understand you by things that you say and do. 9 is a prime number, Oreo. 100% prime. Yeah, Casino Royale. When I saw that, because he had a big shoes to fill. It's the new guy, and that movie was just incredible. And that scene, that was, to see that on the big screen was remarkable. And not only that, like 3 or 4 times now, I've been to the Bond Museum where they have that car that's rolled over, and I actually have the model car up in upstairs, the DB9. But that movie was fantastic. How much do I blur the line between when I'm on stage, it's obviously my character. But I know what you mean about blurring the line because, for example, here in this live, you can suddenly dip into character to say something, but on stage, it's for certain. You're in this mindset, and you're allowed to say all sorts of things and get away with things because you're playing a character. I mean, just look at actors. That's all you have to do. Look at actors. Robert De Niro is not him when he's in a movie. Pierce Brosnan, it was good. And again, the first one, I thought, GoldenEye, I thought was the best. Do I make fun of people's moms on stage? Absolutely, 1000%. I mean, you're paying to, what are you paying for? You're not paying for the card tricks. How is 9 prime, Oreo? My guy, this is basic math. I tell you what, if you super chat $9, I'll break it down for you and prove to you that 9 is a prime number. Detroit, wrong. 9 is a prime. You're broke and you don't know math. Okay. 9 is a prime number, and that's the end of that. Math is not debatable. Can a character change? Yeah, it evolves. If you watch my early stuff from 2010 on YouTube, there's a little bit of arrogance there. There's a little, the character has become much more aggressive. Show us a trick, maybe if you're lucky. Perhaps we'll finish with, no promises, but maybe we'll finish with something. Sam, you're right, and 9 is a prime number. When will I release my 9th book? Well, I'd say prime time. Best hotel in Vegas. I don't know about the best, but the Wynn is very nice. The Wynn is, what show did I do? I was performing at the Omnia, and that's in Caesars. But the client put me up I had like 3 bedrooms. It was ridiculous. Nobody cares about your degree in physics, Oreo. Because you have a degree in physics doesn't mean that you automatically understand prime numbers. I don't know what the problem is. Circus, yes. For $15 a night, $15 a night, you can stay at the best room with cigarette burns in the mattress. David, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm a fan of Omega. Omegas are a good watch. Optimus 9. That's got a nice ring to it. Colin Cloud in Vegas. Yeah, I've never seen him. Jason is a wizard. You know what? I'm going to have to agree with you on that one. Philly, 100% will be back in Philly. We just signed an 8-city deal. Philly's in the mix. And we will 100% be there. I don't know. The date will likely be well into next year. We're booked out to February, March or so. Physics is a 9. I have a degree in prime. See, there's an expert. Buffalo. Oh, probably. The crime. The corruption. The weather. We'll be back to Buffalo, though. Despite our best efforts not to. We will 100% be back to Buffalo. I forget the hyenas, maybe? New Orleans. It's on our wish list. You don't have a physics degree. That's why you don't know that 9 is prime. Hello from New Zealand. How you doing, man? I'd love to go there. I've been to Australia, I don't know, 5-6 times now, but not New Zealand. Favorite car? I'm kind of a classic. The 68 Bullet I have in my videos. What is the most difficult trick that I've ever performed? Well, that's a great question. Person whose name I'm gonna just go with Dario. The most difficult trick is convincing stupid people that my stuff's not edited. But the most difficult card trick you can actually watch. It's already on YouTube. It's on, if you search Jason LaDanny Magic Castle and go to the last 10 minutes, that certainly is one of the most difficult things I've ever done. Buffalo is best in late January, early February. Yeah, when there's like 8.5 feet of snow and it's minus 20 degrees out, that is good. I want to say Tug Hill, where the snow is like up to people's rooftops. The amount of people putting out yeah, it's ridiculous. It is absolutely. I grew up with a mentor that taught me that like your idea is your idea, and now these kids just put out the worst content ever. Like, why would you post that? They're just hungry for views, but they don't understand that like maybe you should get good before you pretend to have skill on the internet. Liar Liar is amazing. Yeah, that's we close the show with that. That really gets the audience. That really grips the audience because they know you're lying. They know you are lying. And at the end, of course, you prove that you're not. If I hadn't become a magician, what line of work would I have gone into? For sure, I'd still be touring on the road. I'd be in some blues band touring around the world right now. Barely able to pay my bills, I'm sure. But yeah, music for sure. Any chance of Liverpool? We may add another. We booked Bush Hall, or whatever, Shepherd's Bush, or whatever it's called. And we sold it out in like 2 weeks. And there's a chance we might add another date, like the day before or something. Don't hold me to that, but yeah, we're trying to add that. It's not really up to it's the if the venue's available. There's a lot of other things. We can't just say, hey, we're doing another show. St. Louis, yeah, there's a guy, Ehrman 7 or whatever his name is. What a scumbag. They just and they're not even right. They're not. That's the best part. There was some guy put up some how-tos on my stuff, and they weren't even remotely close to what I do, which I thought was pretty funny. Do I listen to Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles? Of course. Yeah, Ray Charles is my first album was dedicated to Ray Charles. Ray is one of the best we've ever had. The way, and he plays alto sax too, but his mixture of blues and gospel and soul is just incredible. The early stuff, the Atlantic stuff. Jason, am I happy? Yeah, I'm pretty happy. I'm not sure why you would think I'm not happy. Best concert I've ever seen. Pink Floyd. Next question. 1994. Foxborough Stadium. Ray Charles was great. Hey. When he's selling the Wurlitzer, I think it's still got some life in it. Move over. And he shoots at the kid. Go on. Get out of here. McDonald's commercial got Ray. I never saw that. I saw an old black and white video on YouTube, from forever, late 50s, early 60s or something. Of him, and he's playing his ass off. He's not, he's going all in. He's obviously extremely accomplished. And Sonny Rollins is another great sax player. But to have chops like that and just play the piano is amazing. How often does my dog practice card cheating? Every day. Live at the Fillmore East, Allman Brothers. Yeah, I'm sure I've heard all that. Standard shuffle 2 times. Where does the 2 of hearts land every time? That's 1. And that's 2. I'd say 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, 17. You gotta. You just gotta make sure it's 2 times for 17. Jason, I like video games. I'm gonna have to add that to this list over here. We just got done talking about video games. I don't play video games anymore, but I used to. Yeah, prime numbers is holding all that together. Call of Duty, back in the when it was real Call of Duty, back in the day, 2008. Lobbies. That's when I played Call of Duty. But I don't know when it was, man. It was like 2015 or 2016. Black Ops came out. It was still fun. But I think it was like 2000. Yeah, the original Modern Warfare 1 and 2, those were good. We're talking 2008, that neck of the woods. But it's like 2015 or 16, after Black Ops, Call of Duty, they came out with a new one, and it was just so lame. It wasn't fun anymore. Favorite TV show? I don't watch TV. I don't. Omaha Beach. I don't even know what that one is. I stopped after that one. I was excited for it to come out, and it was just so lame. It didn't do it for me. Assassin's Creed looked cool. I never played it. Xbox or PlayStation? PlayStation. I never owned an Xbox. Advanced Warfare. Yes, exactly. It was where you could like jump up and all that. It became so like cartoony. And the original Modern Warfares were so like realistic. They were so good. It was so like immersive and real. And then it became cartoony. And then today, like with the skins and everything, and you got like a giant rabbit running around in like a pink jumpsuit with a purple gun. It's never gonna. The Fortnite thing happened, and it's just never gonna be the same. Yeah, money grab for sure. Mustang is not on there yet. Is virtually all of the audience at my shows? Yeah, of course. They're not coming there to. I mean, if I'm not doing that, then I'm not doing my job. How much of what I do is known during Marlowe's? I'm doing some, a combination of lots of things. So I think if you're a card nerd, you might get this. But I'm combining a lot of old things in new ways with a lot of the new stuff that I learned from Darwin that I invented with his help. But I think what I've brought into the mix is combining things in new ways. That's the secret to what's going on here. Can I explain why 9 is no, buddy? I'm not doing research for you, bud. Oreo, rest easy tonight. Just get into bed, pull up the covers, close your eyes, and just relax, knowing 9 is prime. I'm not making this up. I bet my life, that 9 is prime. Do I take extra care of my hands? I try to. The other day I bashed my finger. Like, I think I bruised the bone. And it's been more than a week and it still hurts. And I looked it up. You know how you look stuff up on WebMD and you find out that you're going to die no matter what? And it says you can bruise a bone. It can take up 4 to 6 weeks to heal fully. 9 is prime. Christian gets it. Detroit, you don't even know how to use Google. If you have to Google something to win an argument, you are no business to teach anybody anything. 9 is prime, and that's the end of that. My index finger, right up here, absolutely crushed it. But it'll be, it's right there. A few weeks, and it'll be back to normal. Oven mitts. I had gloves on too. I'm pretty sure I had those Milwaukee gloves on. But it is what it is. Detroit, 9's prime, buddy. Doesn't matter how much you bitch and moan about it. How many hats do I have? Oh my God. I'm ashamed to say it. 60? Slammed it in the Bronco, man. When I was a kid, I had every single finger slammed in a car door. I was just carrying a box, and the door was about to shut, and I thought I could get there, and my finger ended up between the edge of the door and the box weighs 55 pounds or something like that. And boy, that was some choice words came out then. Oh, but it's certainly in the bone. But it'll get better. Steve's call. Are you talking about Dad Stevens with the call? I missed your question. Ask it again. Anything that I can't achieve? No. St. Louis, what I've discovered is anything's possible. Like, quite literally, anything is possible. Anything. You just have to think about it. You have to, if you just say, okay, I can't do that, then that's the end, right? But if you sit and think about it, it might take years, it might take months, but you can put things together and solve any of it. It really is the truth. I've had card problems that I've thought about for like literally. I remember where I lived when I came up with the problem. 15 years later, all of a sudden, you come up with a route to get to. You have to. Here's the beginning thing, and here's the end result, and you just have to figure out how to get there, and it's how you solve all of it. Favorite cheese, man. These are the questions that we're here for. You know what I would say? A good brie. Like a good, creamy brie. The brand, I don't know. There's one at Whole Foods that's really good. But when Mark and I go out, my manager who's in here somewhere, when we go into a new city, we go to like a nice fancy steakhouse or something, and sometimes we get like a select cheeses and meats and odds and ends, and the UAP government file job. There's some interesting stuff out there for sure. I mean, some of it's just unexplainable. You have to just look at it and go, what's going on? But I also know that in my spare time, I could go buy 2 little battery-operated LEDs and blow up a balloon, like a long balloon, like a clown balloon, and make like a triangle out of that with these lights in it and just let it go up in the air, and that'll end up on the news. Wagyu steak with a blue cheese sauce. You know, I don't like anything on my steak, but I know what you mean. I would have the blue cheese separate, but a good steak does not want anything on it except for salt and pepper. I'm really strict about that. Do I read? Yeah, of course. That's where all the content comes from. St. Louis. That's where all the ideas really. That's the content generation machine. Christian, take all that and put it in a comment on a video. And I'll see if I can get to it. Coolest thing, write off all my taxes. The coolest thing I've written off on my taxes, and this all changed when we have a much bigger show now. We're touring, and the brands became bigger. The following became bigger. But I can actually write off my scotch and my cigars. Not all of it, a percentage of it, because it's part of the branding. Oh man, that's amazing. So when I in my mid-20s, when I was trying to write off scotch, the guy was like, no. But now it's on stage, it's in the Instagram content, it's everywhere. You get the brand deals and the watches, you can even write off a watch because, like I said, 10 years ago, it was just a watch that you wore to tell time, but now it's part of your brand. I might be going to jail for that, but man, it's worth it. Spain or Argentina? Are you asking if I'm going to come there? Which one do I prefer? Spain. I haven't been to Argentina, but Spain, the food and everything about Spain is amazing. I was just in Mallorca for like 10 days. Do I have a special? Yeah, we shot it beginning of this year, and we're still editing it. Yes, you can write off the guitars, 100%. The piano, wrote that. Any musical gear. Do I make money from the bets? Of course, yeah. Only about 40% pay. Drake, true fans will know that Drake made a 10K bet a while back. I'll even show you the guitar I got. Look at that. That's I got paid from Drake, and we went directly to Lark Street Music, Buzzies, and bought this. Look at this thing. What a beauty. So yeah, people do pay, but not everybody. I'd say 40% pay. And also the amount that people bet is usually a tell. If they're betting $40 or $20, 50, most like 100 is like the line. If they're betting $500, they're not going to pay. Drake, yeah. He bet me, he challenged me to a game of Crazy Eights, which was pretty easy to do. Flying V, yeah. The cam is not flipped. I play left-handed. No, the camera is not flipped. I'm dyslexic, so I had all my books printed backwards so they were easier for me to read. When did I realize I was good? Oh, well, that's such a weird thing because good is subjective. Because at every phase you think you're good, but then all of a sudden you learn something new and realize you're not any good. So then you accomplish the new thing, and you think you're good, but then you see further down the road to say, oh, I have to learn this now in order for me to be good. And it just keeps going. Am I taking $100 challenges? Yeah, just anything that you want, just put it in a normal video so I can screenshot the thing and then put it on the video. When was I bad? You know, that's a great question. I ask Darwin that all the time because my teacher, Darwin Ortiz, every time I see a video of Darwin, even when he was like in his mid-20s, like the old stuff that's the Cavett show stuff and everything, he was still silky smooth. Like, when were you bad? It was like he was never bad. He's does the trick the same exact way when he was 23, and then he's 65 years old doing it the same, like exactly the pattern, the everything. Like, when did all the growth happen from 7 to like 13 or something? So I've never seen a clip of Darwin or heard anything about him being not good, but I don't know. When I was 10 years old, you probably could catch some stuff. 9 is prime. See, we got somebody that knows what they're talking about. What made me want to start card tricks? My brother, my older brother showed me a card trick and blew me away. I was 7 years old. He showed me a card trick and I said, I want to do that. And here we are. Gamer, 9 is prime. Gamer gets it. What is the problem? The burglar's card trick. Yeah, that's what he showed me. And I said, you know what? That's amazing. I want to do that. And then I tried to fool my brother back and I couldn't. And it took me like 10 years to fool him. And eventually I did. And then and the trick that fooled him came out of this book. I had this book and there was something in here that, screenshot time. And it's not backward. Darwin wrote the title backwards. I showed him a trick out of that, and he didn't say anything. He didn't say a word. He just sat there in dead silence. And I said, "I got you, didn't I?" And he didn't say anything. And I was like, "Yeah." What was the trick that he showed me? It was the 4 robbers, the 4 jacks. They go into 4 different levels of an apartment. This jack goes on the first floor. This robber goes on the second floor. Robber goes on the third floor. Jack stays on the top. And you knock the top of the deck and the jacks come off. Oh, what trick fooled Darwin? I haven't published it. The first trick that I fooled Darwin with, it's just a location. It's one of my locations. Oh, and the poker chip fooled him. But that was much later. The first trick that fooled him, I can tell you the card. It was a 2 of clubs was the card. And I showed him just a real simple, pick a card. And I said, I'm getting a black card, a club, 2 of clubs. And he just said, and I jumped up and put my arms over my head. And I don't think he liked that very much. To which I immediately showed him what I did. How did I meet and start learning under Darwin? This right here. I'll cover it up, but his phone number is right there. I don't know if someone has this number now, so I'll cover it up. But under my finger is a phone number. So I watched this and I said, what is this guy doing? Like, how come I can't see any of the moves? How come when I watch other magicians, I can see through everything. I can see the move. I can see the sleight. I can figure it out. I just watching it and I can learn it. I watched this and he was doing stuff I just couldn't see. So on the back, I called the number thinking it was the A1 Magic. I thought it was this company. And I wanted to thank them for putting out such good content. And Darwin answered the phone. And I said, you're the guy? And after 5 minutes of praise, he let me get it out of my system. And he agreed to do a lesson. Do I think there can still be new tricks? Yeah, they're on my channel every single day. Yeah, magicians tend to stick and they're stuck doing the same old stuff over and over and over again. And nobody's really pushing the limits. It's the same stuff. Mike, yo, bro. What is up? Everybody mic'd your send in the chat. How old was I at the time? Are you talking about the Darwin thing? I was 20 years old, I think, because I had already gotten into the books. So Martin Nash was my first guy. Martin Nash, I was like 15, 16, 17. And then I found Darwin, 18, 19 or so. And then I got the DVDs and the card cheating stuff. And this book changed my life too. I made a lot of money on this book right here. Screenshot time. Darwin again wrote the title backwards on this one. I made more money than I knew what to do with through that book. And Jack Carpenter, yeah, Jack loves my work. I love Jack's work. Jack's brilliant. And I'm doing something in my show now that's from Jack, like one of the biggest highlights of the show. So yeah, I saw the DVD, called the number, and my first lesson with Darwin was, I think where's that book? My first lesson with Darwin is right here. July 8th, it's just 2001. And we worked on the Hustler's Cut and the Bottom Deal and some shuffle work. And that's when it started, 2001. Did I create the waterfall trick? Yeah. I saw Steve Forty doing a spring. It wasn't Steve Forty. It was a Steve Forty trick somebody else was doing, where he springs the cards and stops the spring. So springs, stops, and then he finds an ace, and he does that 4 times. And I thought, wouldn't it be cool to do a dribble and reach in and just pluck it out? And I put that on my YouTube. That's on my YouTube in 2014. You can see it. If you search Top Shelf Magic, Top Shelf Card Magic or something like that, that video went up. And then in 2018, what's his name? Kostya did it on Fool Us, which is kind of like, okay. And then everybody's doing it now. Levittown, Governors, yeah, that's it. We'll be there. 100% we'll be back. I think we've done that twice. Darwin's books to get, all of them. All of them. Have I read all the books on my books? I should put that on here. No, I sometimes, if I'm at the in my office and there's not a chair, I stack these up and sit on them. What? Why else would you buy a book? One was canceled, or yeah. We had one. We had an emergency that we couldn't get out of it. We had to cancel it like the day before. I think that's our only show that we've missed. Toronto show. Yes, 100%. There is a Toronto venue that we are talking with. It's been a while, but we get with them. Our schedules don't line up. We kick it down the road a little bit, and then we try again. But we'll be there. There's a casino that's outside of Toronto. I don't know the name of it. Like a nice theater, cabaret-style seating place. I don't know the name of it. What's that big card frame? Oh, this thing. Look at this. I mean, hello. That's just a thing of beauty. We have some new merch. And I'm pretty excited about it. Paul Mann, a guy that does all the posters for. Look him up. He's done 1 million posters for major. He's doing posters for Quentin Tarantino. He's done posters for Heat. He's done posters for Silence of the Lambs. He's the real deal, but he did ours. No, it's the Bullet. 68 Fastback. Yeah, Paul Mann is left-handed, so it came out. It's backwards. Wisconsin. I don't think we have Wisconsin. Do we have Wisconsin? I don't know if Mark is still in the chat. Did I ever try drums? Um, I can play a shuffle, and I can play. I could sit in at an open mic for 2 songs, and that's it. And we're talking like just barely holding the groove together. But I'm not really a drum guy. Somebody did it. All the just if it says Darwin Ortiz on the book cover, buy it, and you have to read them all. Magic on the live streams, yeah, of course. When we do our shows on the tour schedule, every time Mark and I are setting up at a venue, we set up, we do our sound check, we get everything dialed in, and then we do a live and I sit down and we shuffle chord. We do whatever people want to do. Do people get offended online? Insult them at a show? Yeah, people understand that these are jokes, and if you're paying money to come see me, you know what you're in store for. So people are like, you can't insult people. Don Rickles, anybody? Hello. People enjoy the banter. Darwin Ortiz book to start with. You can just read them in the order that if you're talking about the tricks, not the theory. At the Table, and then go to Card Shark. Just read them in the order that he wrote them in. Upstate New York. Hello, upstate. What's good in upstate New York? Nothing. You know what my favorite part about upstate New York is? When you leave. Europe. Yeah, we're going to be there. Paris. We have Paris coming up, October 30th. Rickles, how many peeps don't? Yeah, right. Exactly. Times are changing. But people wrote. There's Comedy Central roasts. Like people just don't understand the lack of situational awareness. Like these are jokes. Smallbany. There's such a lack of education. Is really, I guess, what it comes down to. But people can't separate themselves. They get so offended. And the other thing that's kind of crazy is that they get offended for other people. They get offended. You can't do. This is against you're not offended. Like you're offended for someone else. How did I learn my tricks? I sold my soul, 30% off. East Coast Canada. There is. We mentioned Toronto, which isn't really East Coast, but you're talking Montreal. Last time I was in Montreal was probably 2019, so we're definitely due to come back. Education overrated. I just think there's just so many stupid people. And back in school, they had when you were in school, they separated like the dumb kids and the smart. There was like separation. You're in remedial math, and you're in advanced math, and you're gonna have to stay after school, and you can skip the 9th grade because you're smart, right? So in school we had all this separation, and then everybody gets on the internet. It's all stupid people mixed with the smart people. Up the ladder or Hustler's Triple? Definitely Hustler's Triple. But you can combine the two. That's where the real work is. I love that 2% of chat knows what I'm talking about. Favorite beer or whiskey? Right now. Right now. My favorite whiskey is a Macallan. Macallan has something called the Harmony Collection right now. Harmony Collection. And the one that's called Vibrant Oak is exquisite. Exquisite. Mac 18 is fantastic. Aberfeldy 25. Oh my God, there's nothing like it. Can I put my $1 million book on layaway? You mean this bad boy right here? Yeah, man. Put half down. And you can come back. Just a quick little read on the Card Magician is better than Jason LeDaney. It's a quick read. Quick read. Good stuff. Good stuff. How did I like being on Mike Rowe's podcast? It was fantastic. Mike Rowe, first of all, his voice is velvet, but he's such an interesting person, asked great questions, and it didn't feel like an interview. It just felt like I was talking to my best friend, drinking some whiskey and talking about life. It was fantastic. Who's the guy on the cover? It's my stand-in. Every day, Joe, I gave up. Joira, how are you? How are you? I'm fine. How are you? The bookcase is, you go to backdrops, AIbackdrops.com, and you can get like a wall of books if you want. Cigar, no, it's not. I should add it though. I should definitely add that. Have I had hecklers at the show? I wouldn't really call them hecklers. There's a difference between a heckler and somebody asking a question, can I cut, or can I do this, or do it again, or whatever. It's not a real heckle. But there are certainly people that put you on the spot on the show, and they're great. I always tell them, you want to shuffle? Come on up on stage, bring $100, put it on the table, and shuffle. And half the time they do. They come up, they put the $100 on the table, they shuffle, and then I do the trick, and then I take their 100, and I keep it. Josh J wrote to me once and said, you keep the money? And I said, yeah, it's a bet. Favorite cigar? 1,000%. The 80th anniversary Padrones, right here. 80th anniversary, 1926. Is that in focus? Padrones. There's nothing better. Screenshot time. This is back when they carved boxes backwards. That's how old these are. 80 years ago, they wrote this, they etched it out backwards. Steve Forte's books. You mean these? Yeah. Oh, do you mean these? The good ones? Yeah. Screenshot time. And this one? So, chat, somebody go look up the cost of these. Good luck. I think those might be the most expensive. I think they're $2,500. Mild cigar. Well, they make Maduro and natural, so those are natural. Good luck getting a copy. You're right. They are hard. I got mine back in a long time ago. 2007, 2008, somewhere in that neck of the woods. Best cards to Pharaoh, for sure, the gold seals. Favorite dress shoe? Alan Edmonds make a damn good dress shoe. 1 a.m. signing off. Good night, brother. Yeah, you got to have a really messed up, you got to have like a missing leg on a table, and then you can grab like 30, 40 books and fix that. Chef, thanks, Chef. Andre's cards, I think I don't use them, but they're a good-looking deck. It's hard, I'm telling you, man. It's hard to find a good-looking, of all the decks that have come out. Remember the whole custom boom that happened, and there's watermelons and lemons on decks, and it's just a whole bunch of garbage. And then, of course, all the old stuff that was good, like the plaid deck was reprinted. The wins, remember those? I have tons of wins. That's a great deck design. But there's so few. There's like less than 10 deck designs that look good. And Andre, he did a great job. He's basically ripping off the Texan deck. Do I have a Texan deck here? I don't think I have a Texan deck in front of me. The palmettos, if you're a nerd, you'd know the palmettos. All the palm trees and the star on the back. Andre ripped that concept off and did it with a butterfly. But it's a good looking deck. Mike, the only live that's hey, we're just having a chat, man. Thoughts on Shin Lim? And there we go, bingo. Thoughts on we got it. We got our bingo. We hit it. Got thoughts on magicians. What are my thoughts on Shin Lim? We got what hat is that? The Gorin guy from earlier. Our free goat in the middle. The Toronto show. When's the Toronto show happening? And show us a trick. Bingo, man. Shin Lim did a fantastic job of bringing back, what's old is new again with black art, and brought back a forgotten about thing, and it's perfect for TV. It's all very short, visual eye candy, and he is what's nice about Shin is he doesn't put out garbage content. It's not my obviously with the type of work that he does, it's not what I do. It's a lot of gaff stuff, but it looks good. It doesn't make much sense, but it looks good. And for social media, it's perfect. So, but he also doesn't put out anything that you go, oh, that was terrible. It's all he knows to put out good content. Admire the respect for another magician. Yeah, if you're good, go for it. If you suck, I'm going to tell you suck. TV magicians, oh man. You're talking about like David Copperfield and those guys? I don't know who's even doing that anymore. Copperfield's done. Who's Blaine is past his thing. Who's our TV? Oh, O's. I would say O's. Anything that Jack Carpenter does is great. Shin Lim's Penn and Teller thing. Yeah, here's a little note. If you know, watch his sleeves. Watch Shin's sleeves on his Penn and Teller performance. Because there's about 50 cuts in that. Obviously, for television, they're going to clean it up, but oof. Am I going to be on Fool Us? No, I have absolutely no interest. Fool Us is a show for undiscovered magicians. What do I think of Oz? He's fantastic. Oz is crushing it. 1,000,000% crushing it. Has, again, reinvented mentalism with his own things, and is taking it, he's just forging ahead. Best place to learn but really, there's no real, you want to practice, you're going to get more from experience than a download or anything. Lance Pierce, there's a name I haven't heard in a while. No, I won't be attending a lecture. I'm kind of off lectures and conventions. Jerry's Nuggets, yeah, the old ones, they're awful. I have nuggets. I have golden nuggets. The black. You've seen them in the promo stuff that I do with the dice and everything. I don't think I don't think they're down here. They're absolutely terrible because they're from 1960. Nurbik Data, the biggest thief of my material. What a piece of shit. How many hours do I practice? I practice at least, an hour or two. That's the bare minimum. I'm always working on something. People that's these challenges, so you got to brush up on technique. You got to, when I do my shows, I have to rehearse to make sure that I'm not rusty on anything and the timing is still good. New material, keeping your deals in shape. You have to practice. It's like a job. People say, "Oh, you don't have a job." I still have to wake up and make a list of things to work on and then do it. Jeremy Timo is a cruise ship magician. There's a big difference. I'm telling the truth. There's a big difference between a card mechanic and a card magician. There's two separate categories. And Jeremy is a card magician. Markobi. Yeah, we've talked about Markobi in previous things. Markobi is like watching mental illness personified with cards. It's so hard to watch. It is so broken. It's unsettling. It is imagine a pizza, which is good, and then chocolate, which is good, a good salmon, which is good, a popcorn, and a soda, and ice cream, and then like a good grilled asparagus, and a burrito. And you put all that together. You put all that into one dish and then eat it. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, man. I spent about 2 hours doing my eyes before this live. I want to make sure that my eye makeup is really popping. Mud. Yeah, mud. Let's put some mud in. It doesn't make any sense. No, this is not a personal attack. The content is so disconnected. I don't like it. No, it's a Gibson Flying V. When I'm not magicking or musicking, other interests, yeah, I work out, I run, I ride my bike. I do 5, 10. Not today. It's blade weather outside. We have orange skies right now. So I enjoy working out, and there's a big trail that I go on that's like it's like a 2-hour bike ride. I'm almost out every day, and obviously I have a ton of books to read, and movies. I like at the end of my day when I finish practicing and I'm done and burned out, I'll go watch a movie. That's my day. Danny DeOrtiz, fantastic. Danny DeOrtiz is one of our top card magicians alive today. He's fun. He'll blow your minds. It's interesting. It's intriguing, and it's you get paid off. That's what I was going to say about Markobi. I get paid off when I watch Danny DeOrtiz. I watched, and then I got a feeling of wow, that was amazing. And Markobi, I watch, and I'm saying, what is, and then it finishes, and you go, what? I don't know. I don't want that. My favorite movie, boy, I got to add that. We get that every time. I would say Heat, Goodfellas, Casino Royale, Departed. It's impossible to answer that question. Paul Gordon, the Walmart of card magic. Not a Paul's not anything worth my time. Competing at FISM, no, I'm not interested in anything. Rounders is another great movie. It's not the best. It's not a favorite, but it's a very good movie. Naglis, yeah, he's the Elmsley Count guy. Everything is an Elmsley Count, and the tricks are just so, uh, just kind of just mundane. Now we have this. Now we have this, and now they're back. Because everything's the same. There's not much there. Richard Turner, one of the top card mechanics of our time, for sure. His second deal is like unlike anything you've ever seen. How often do I post membership videos? We're every couple weeks. I'm behind. I have one lined up. Daniel Madison, yeah, Daniel Madison is he's like a prop used to sell card mechanic stuff. But they're again, when you look at it and watch it, it's not really. It's all character. He's got some chops. I'm not going to knock him 100%, but there's some stuff that's, amateur hour stuff. Bad tension. I don't know who Harrison Kramer is. Somebody asked that earlier. Handle heat and humidity. Yeah, that is my kryptonite for sure. The other day I did a show in New York City outside on a rooftop. And man, so the answer is that you have to change. You have to swap decks. Once a deck gets enough humidity in it, it's really bad. So the answer to that is to just give the cards away, give them out as souvenirs. I do 2 or 3 tricks and then say, here, you can have that. Let's open up a new deck of cards, because the cards won't do what you want them to do. And your hands stick to like you go to put the deck down and cards will just stick to your hands, and it's not really good. How do people ask for a course? On my website, you can go buy all the digital downloads. You can get the whole first book as a download. Live in London is a download. It's like 4 hours. Vanishing Ink masterclass. Have I watched the movie Shade? I think it's pretty stupid. It's pretty lame. It's cheesy. Michael Vincent, one of the best card magicians on the planet today. Mike Vincent is an absolute beast. Gold seals. No, you can't get any gold seals because I bought them all. Sorry. I think I own all of the remaining gold seals. Better mechanic than Turner. Richard and I pull from the same place. So there's things that Richard does that his second deal is like untouchable. But then there's other things. He's not the stacking is so. The bottom grip's a bit wonky, but he's got. We just do different. We're both good at things, and the whole better than is a weird thing to do. We're both good at what we do. I could only wear one watch. I don't really care enough, because each one has a thing. Each one has a moment connected to it. Keep your sass and burn the haters. It's so easy. It's so easy. People come in and just say the dumbest shit. So like you're just doing it to yourself. The thing that gets me is is people come in and so confidently say stuff that's completely not even close to what, like the burn card thing from the other day. Oh, you you had another burn card in the deck and you lapped the burn card to deal off the bottom of the deck, and then there was a second burn card. Like, what are you nice trick though. What are you talking about? Jeremy Tan's second deal. No, actually, if you people have sent me some of his videos where he's actually doing a bad take on a complete misdeal. And the shuffle work is embarrassingly, it's not good. And up the ladder should not be 2 inches off the side of the deck. Jeremy can't even see this shit. So would you say that my opinion has any weight? Just think about that for a second. What's the dumbest thing I've ever been asked? I got an email once from a guy named Alan from New York City that wanted me to do a show, but he had a special request that I do the show naked, and he was willing to pay anything. And I did it. It was I know a good deal when I see one. I would say that email from Alan is probably that was wild. I would say that's probably the weirdest thing that anyone's ever asked. Ben Earl, fantastic, great set of hands, great theory. Ben Earl's a very qualified, solid performer. Which books do I start with? Of mine, I would say Confident Deceptions is a little easier. Eric Mead doesn't really do it for me. I'm a card guy, so I like card work. Eric Mead does great coins and great sleight of hand, classic magic stuff, just cups and balls. But that's not my thing. Bill Malone, monster. Bill Malone is one of the best card magicians that has ever graced us, and his sense of humor. Bill is fantastic. Have I ever consulted? Yeah, for sure. We're working on something right now, but I can't talk about it. The magician, yeah, I know he's Mandi or whatever his name is. What does Confident Deceptions teach? It teaches how to make a killer lasagna. Do I see David Blaine as a magician or stuntman? Great question. He's kind of a mix of the two. Certainly not a card guy. He does card tricks, but some of the technique is not up to par. There's some things that are very awkward. Does great tricks, but when I think of Blaine, I think more about puking a frog than I do about card cheating or card mechanics. Is it pink? Yeah, and it's like a Coke can, like 2 of them. Gary Plant's one of the best card handlers that this world has ever seen. Yeah, DB's double is, yeah, about that. Darren Brown, fantastic. Great thinker, great character. How many shirts do I have? Where are these? What? What is that? I have one shirt. I own one shirt, and Frank, my CGI guy, just moves around the hue and makes it look like different colors. Hardest skill to master card mechanics: a table pharaoh and all your deals. Those you're going to spend the most time working on. A second deal, bottom deal, Greek deal, center deal. Aviator, the shirt you mean, or the cards? Aviator cards are pretty cheap. Pretty cheap. They're just, it's like recycled playing cards. All right. This chat has deteriorated. Thoughts on socks. You know what I do? You want my thoughts on socks? I buy like 100 pair of socks. So I never have to match socks. We're only on this planet for so many years. And do I want to spend time matching socks? No. So you buy like 100 pair, go on Amazon, find a really good structured sock and buy 100 pair. And then you just reach in and grab any two. Do you see how valuable this live is? Clearly, we're running out of good questions. So let's go. We'll go for another couple minutes and then we'll call it. Do I like watching new movies or, oh, for sure, old stuff? I watch the same movies over and over again. The new movies are constantly a letdown. Sinners, I thought was terrible. Black socks, yeah, that's what I do. I buy the same brand, but so that way they match even in that sense. But new movies today, I'll go on Amazon or Prime or something and get a new movie, and I can barely get through 30 minutes of it. Steve Forty's Protection DVDs. How's that? How's that for must? This is a must. The opening 20 seconds of this, I said, who is this guy? He shuffles and then he turns his hands up. I said, no way. It's the first time I saw a good action poem. Odyssey. I mean, obviously that I'm going to want to see because I want to see what all the hype's about. But it's just like they don't make them like they used to, man. Watch Heat. Watch the first Game of Thrones. Like every character was so rich, and the story, the arcs were just so great. And Casino Royale. It's like movies died in like 2010, and now the stories aren't there, the characters aren't there. It's the same old shit. It's CGI. It's just, where's the story? Where's the drama? Where's the thing that has me glued to the thing? Project Hail Mary. I same thing. He's a good actor. I couldn't get through the last bit. Terminator 1 and 2. Those are great movies. Indiana Jones, like, come on, that's a great Dark Knight. Thank you, one of the best movies. I have my Dark Knight poster right over here. 1 month membership. Show us. Oh, I will. I'll show you a trick. I'll do something before we split. As a matter of fact, Kuz and whatever. I'll just call you David. We'll do this. Will this? Kuzin, whatever your name is. We got some cards. To that guy. Can name any one of these, but don't think it's a trick. 7 of Hearts, very common card. The King of Spades is like a very dominant, strong card. Maybe you're thinking like, oh, there's one weak card here. Maybe I want you to pick that. Which one do you want? This is your moment. Koozie David, Beer Koozie David. Which one do you want? We're all waiting in incredible suspense. Jack of Hearts. All the way at the back. You want this one? He went with the Jack of Hearts. That's amazing. Koozie David, you could have had any card. Well, it's... And check. Here we go. Watch this. You could have had this one, the 4, which is blue. You could have had the King, which is blue. You could have had the 10, which is blue. You could have had this King, which is blue. You could have had the 9, it's a bad luck card, which is blue. You could have had the 3, which is blue. You could have had the 7, which most people pick, which is blue. But you picked the Jack, which is red. Which is wild. Absolutely wild. Incredible. Blows my mind every time. The 9 of diamonds is actually called The Curse of Scotland. You can look that up. Beer Koozie David, you are welcome. And thank you for the dono. I appreciate it. Absolute Cinema, one of my favorite names. I think we're good. I think we'll wrap it up there. Actually, it's 8:18. We'll do 2 more minutes. Have I met Richard Turner? Not in person, but I've talked to him on the phone several times. If you don't know what this means, this means phone. Best stack to learn. Just pick one. Tom Rees. That's a combination of Aronson and Tom Rees. I appreciate it. Chef, thank you so much. Mission Impossible. Yeah, Mission Impossible. You know what? The 5th one. And there's another good one too. I think I think it's a 3rd one. The one that what's his name did? J.J. Abrams, Philip Seymour Hoffman, and the 5th one are excellent movies. But it gets weird. There's the last one I thought was awful. Richard Turner, yeah, he's amazing. Rogue Nation, yeah, I think that's the 5th one. Thank you guys. This is a fantastic. Look at everybody. Oh, look at all the love. The 5th one, yes, the motorcycle scene is edge of your seat stuff, and the underwater stuff was great. Oh, here come all the questions. Here they come. Hello. Love your card work, nice guitar. I play a lot. One of my favorite bands. I don't really like anything except for the old blues back in the late 50s and 60s. B.B. King, Albert King, Freddie King, Stevie Ray Vaughan, obviously more modern, but I'm really a sucker for the old stuff. Just the real deal. Otis Rush, Ronnie Earl on a Strat will bring you to tears. Jason Bourne, no. I didn't like the Jason Bourne movies. He's too strong. He's too powerful. He goes into a room and kills everybody. So there's no vulnerability. He's too powerful. Similar to John Wick. Yes, Ronnie Earl. Check out Ronnie Earl. Clarence Gatemouth Brown. Well, we got an actual real blues lover in the chat today. Favorite magician right now? I don't know his name. Mattis. His name's Mattis. I don't know he's on Instagram. His last name is Mattis. He's a Spanish guy. He's amazing. His card work is phenomenal. His character's great. His moves are fantastic. He's just great. I can't say enough about that guy. I don't want to mispronounce his name, but his last name's Mattis. Steve, how do I back out of a trick that doesn't work? You practice so that you don't make mistakes. If you're making mistakes, you have not practiced enough. When's the last time you saw a concert pianist up there making mistakes? You don't. They don't make mistakes. Gerard Butler movie. Yeah, he does some good stuff. That the one where the 2 guys come in and like kill his wife and his kid or whatever, and then he does all the crime from jail. That guy. David, thank you, man. I appreciate that very much. I appreciate. Yes. Law-abiding said that's a really dark man. There's some scenes in there that are really, really intense. That is a good movie. But he does. Gerard does some really good, like the submarine movie. It's a knockoff of what is it, K-19, and then Crimson Tide. They're similar stuff. The Mutiny on a Sub. But Gerard does some good action stuff. They're not great movies, but it's like a good action movie. Does the crime from jail? Yeah, it was clever because during the movie you're wondering how all this stuff's happening. How often do I go live? I'm on Instagram Live and YouTube Live about once a week, just doing this. But on my tour schedule, if you go on my website, look at my tour schedule, my manager and I sit at the table, and I got my cards on my table, and we do card tricks, and we have a good time. Robert Cray! Oh! Robert Cray is his singing, but also that he plays a clean Strat tone. and just slays it. But Joe, yeah, thanks, man. He's for reminding me. Robert Cray is a definitely top 10 of all time. Gladiator, fantastic, fantastic movie. All right, guys, I appreciate it much. It was a fantastic live, and it's great because of all your great questions. Like, what are my views on socks? When am I in Houston? March 12th or 13th is when we're in Houston. But go to the website, CardMagic by Jason, and go to the live show tab, and you can see all the stuff there. I'm going to go flip all these books around so that they're facing the right way now.